Hello friends, I'm Amir. I'm an operation executive, coach and content creator. Have you ever started a project with excitement only to feel that sinking feeling when things didn't go as planned? I've been there too, and it can be heartbreaking. So in this video I'll share 6 powerful tactics that help me push forward and achieve my dreams. Stick around, because these insights could be the key to unlocking your own success story. A decade ago, I found myself stuck in a boring routine. I had a great job managing about 80 people, but my days were filled with endless meetings and the same challenges, leaving me feeling empty after 11 or 12-hour workdays. I wanted to do something creative, something that would bring back that sense of wonder and, dare I say, magic in my life. So I turned to my coach for guidance. She encouraged me to explore the creative activities I loved as a kid. I jokingly asked if playing soccer or my less than stellar guitar skills counted as creative pursuits. She nodded and smiled and said, "Dig deeper." After a few days of reflection, I realized that my true passion is stories. As a kid, comic books inspired me like nothing else. That's when it hit me. I should write a graphic novel, a story I could love to read and that I believe could inspire others. Here's a fun fact. I can't draw to save my life. Stick figures are a challenge for me. Okay, let's be honest. No one can understand what I draw. But I knew I could overcome this challenge by hiring talented artists who would be excited to join me on this journey. Before diving in, I needed to answer 4 key questions. The first one was, do I still love comic books? The second one was, do I have a story that my friends and family would enjoy? The third one, why am I doing this? And the fourth, can I turn this into more than just a hobby? And how will I fund it? To tackle the first question, I decided to recreate the excitement I felt as a kid reading comic books. So after years away, I flew back to my home country and visited about 20 comic book stores, searching for the first comic I ever read. None of them had it, but one owner told me about a comic book fair. I excitedly went there, and luck had it, I found it. I felt like a kid who discovered a treasure chest. I took the comic books and drove to a small park where I used to read comics next to my grandparents' house. Sitting on a bench, I opened that comic and felt a rush of nostalgia, reminding me of the unlimited possibility I felt as a kid. So my first question was confirmed. I still love reading comic books. For number 2 and number 3, I had this story that I'd been nurturing for 2 decades. I knew it was inspiring and fun, and my biggest why has always been to inspire others to reach their full potential, even if they don't realize it themselves. I believe in the power of stories to communicate ideas and empower us all. I believed, maybe naively, that my story could do that. Now came the tough part. Number 4, turning this into a real venture rather than just a hobby. Producing high-quality printed comic books can be expensive, often costing between $5,000 to $20,000 per comic book. 4 years prior, Kickstarter emerged as a platform to support creative projects. I reached out to several people involved with Kickstarter to see if it would be a good fit for my graphic novel. Everyone was enthusiastic, but asked, how much do you plan to raise? Let me quickly share how Kickstarter works. When you launch a campaign, you set 2 key things. One, the duration of the campaign, usually 30 days. And then the funding goal, which can range from $1 to $1 million or more. The most important thing to remember is that Kickstarter operates on a all or nothing basis. So if you don't reach your goal, you don't receive any funds. $0. Well, there's no limit how much you can raise if you exceed your goal. I estimated it would cost about $10,000 to produce and ship my first 1,000 copies. So I wanted to set my goal at $10,000. However, several people who ran Kickstarter campaigns warned me that less than 5% of campaigns reach that goal. I asked them, who achieves this goal in comic books? They mentioned 3 types of successful campaigns. Number 1 is an independent but well-known artist with an established following. Number 2, a celebrity author who fans support their projects or anything that they do. And number 3, a Marvel or DC artist launching an independent comics. Well, no, and no. I was none of these. So I asked, is there a 4th option? They said, not really. But if you have a large network of friends willing to support a campaign, then maybe you can succeed. All signs pointed to failure, but I just had to bring these graphic novels to life. So I took their maybe answer and created a spreadsheet of about 1,200 people, even pulling names from my high school yearbook. I split the list into groups of 50 and committed to reaching out to that many people each day after work. I understood that while I couldn't control how much money I raised or whether Kickstarter would promote my project, I could control my actions. How many people I contacted daily and how I shared my messages. On November 11, 2013, I launched my comic book project. The first few days were amazing, as my close friends and family generously supported me. However, by day 4, the initial excitement dwindled to just 1-2 new backers a day. I vividly remember day 8 when, after contacting 50 people, I realized that I received only $37 in pledges. It was devastating. Kickstarters allow you to cancel your campaign at any time, but that thought never crossed my mind. I reminded myself daily of what I could control. Keep reaching out to 50 people daily. Visualize my why for doing this. Practice daily affirmations and eliminate negative thoughts. Learn from each day's experiences and adjust my approach accordingly. Focus on interim milestones and surrounding myself with supportive friends who reminded me of the joy I feel upon achieving my goal. Before I continue with my story, if you're finding value in this video, please click the like button below. It helps with the algorithm and ranking, and please consider subscribing to my channel. Okay, back to the story. I kept calling 50 people a day, and by day 24, I hit 80% of my goal. Yay! However, I realized I had contacted everyone on my list. I felt a chill when I messaged the last person. What now? Looking up from my laptop, I spotted The Alchemist on my bookshelf. I randomly opened it and read, "When you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it." Of course, I knew what my next action should be. I called my 20 closest friends and asked them for their help in reaching out to their network. I owe a lot to these friends who spread the word. Thank you, Ellen and Carl. On that same day, Kickstarter featured my project on its main page, and pledges began pouring in from people I never met. Within 2 days, I reached my funding goal, and the last few days were filled with joy as more backers joined. I felt so grateful. I captured the last second just before the campaign ended. The feeling of seeing my dream come true was just incredible. I wanted to yell, but the kids were sleeping, so I did a little rain dance instead. You really don't want to see me doing that. In those 30 days, 271 people pledged $11,361 toward my dream. But it didn't stop there. Over the next 3 years, I ran 2 more Kickstarter campaigns, selling over 3,500 copies of my graphic novels, with more than 10,000 people reading it online for free. And this is just the beginning. What project or creation have you always wanted to start but never did? Or perhaps you started and gave up? Here are the 6 tactics that helped me when I felt stuck and needed a push to make my dream a reality. Number 1, focus on what you can control. I focused on continuing my outreach efforts, hiring talented artists, thank you Sage and Shelley, and managing the production process. The second one, identify your why. Understand why it's important for you to bring your creativity to life. The third one, practice daily affirmations. I kept journal for affirmations and practice a 30-second rule to replace negative thoughts with positive ones. The next one, identify a daily learning. At the end of each day, I wrote down 1 lesson learned, adjusting my messaging as needed. The fifth one, set interim goals. Smaller milestones like contacting 500 people in 10 days or reaching 25% of funding helped me stay motivated and focused. And the last one, lean on friends. Surrounding myself with supportive friends and family made all the difference, providing encouragement and motivation. These 6 tactics were like magic for me, inspiring me to push forward and not give up. I'd love to hear about your project and what excites you. Please share in the comments below. And until our next time together, may you live a remarkable life.